We are live with the biggest news in the NBA right now. Anthony Edwards is reportedly expected to play in Game 1 between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the San Antonio Spurs, despite a recent knee injury. Shams Charania reports that Edwards has received medical clearance to play 9 days after sustaining that bone bruise, and the final call on his participation is set for Monday night. We break down everything you need to know about this pivotal matchup.
Stop using your finger for notes, sketches, and edits. This Jam Jake stylus pen gives your iPad a smoother, more precise writing feel with palm rejection so your hand can rest naturally on the screen. It charges fast, works for hours, and comes with replacement tips. Perfect for school, work, or creative projects. Check the link in the comments to grab it on Amazon.
Next up, we dive into the player props for the Spurs versus the Timberwolves playoff game. We look at the incredible projections for Victor Wembanyama, who is expected to score 28 or more points against Minnesota, and we examine the performance expectations for Mike Conley and Jaden McDaniels, including their rebounding potential. Find out who is set to shine and who might be seeing a reduced role in this intense playoff battle. The stakes are incredibly high as we look at where you can watch the action. We are giving you the definitive guide on how to tune into the Minnesota Timberwolves versus the San Antonio Spurs Game 1 on Monday, May 4th. We detail the exact TV channel and streaming options so you don't miss a single moment of this second-round playoff action. And that's our rundown for today. Anthony Edwards is on the line, Wembanyama is ready to dominate, and you know where to watch the game. Don't miss a second of the action. Stay locked with us for all the updates on the Timberwolves versus the Spurs. Click here to see all the scores and results from today's games. Anthony Edwards is reportedly set to play in Game 1 of the Minnesota Timberwolves versus the San Antonio Spurs, contingent on a pregame evaluation, according to ESPN's Shams Charania. Edwards has been dealing with a bone bruise in his left knee, sustained during Game 4 against the Denver Nuggets, an injury initially expected to sideline him through the early stages of the series. However, Charania reports that Edwards has received medical clearance to play 9 days after sustaining the injury, and the final decision will be made following his pregame routine on Monday night. Earlier reports suggested Edwards was pushing to return, with previous coverage indicating he was hopeful for participation in Game 3 or Game 4 of the series. While Minnesota was reportedly cautious about bringing him back due to inflammation in his right knee, the situation appears to have shifted significantly ahead of the opening matchup. The injury has been a major factor in the Timberwolves' first-round series outcome, as Edwards was sidelined for Games 5 and 6 against the Nuggets. Now, with a spot in the Western Conference Finals at stake, reports indicate Edwards is on track to participate in Game 1. The Athletic's John Krasinski noted that Edwards was working on rehabilitation and treatment, specifically hoping to play against the Spurs if the Timberwolves advanced, and his knee showed positive response over the weekend. Edwards is crucial to Minnesota's aspirations against the Spurs, a team featuring MVP finalist Victor Wembanyama, who finished the regular season with the NBA's second-best record. Edwards has had a stellar season, averaging a career-high 28.8 points, 5 rebounds, 3.7 assists, and 1.4 steals per game, alongside career-high shooting percentages from the field. In a related development, the Timberwolves will be without Io Dosunmu for Monday night due to a calf injury that sidelined him for Game 6 against Denver. Dosunmu had been instrumental in Edwards' absence against the Nuggets, scoring a career-high 43 points to lead Minnesota to a Game 4 victory, and he also started Game 5 in Edwards' place with 18 points. The NBA playoff action heats up this Monday as the Minnesota Timberwolves face the San Antonio Spurs in the second game of a 2-game series. Fantasy sports analysts are highlighting several key player props for the matchup, focusing on standout performances from both teams. Victor Wembanyama is a major focus, with expectations suggesting he should score 28 or more points against Minnesota. His regular season performance against the Timberwolves was strong, with him achieving 28 or more points in 2 consecutive games, averaging 29 minutes per game. Analysts note that his success against Minnesota in the regular season warrants consideration for the over on his 27.5-point prop line. Mike Conley's role is expected to be diminished, despite increased involvement in the latter half of a recent series. Despite this, he is projected to hit the under on his 4.5-point prop, given his history of covering the over on similar lines. Terrence Shannon Jr.'s breakout game against Denver, where he recorded 24 points in 35 minutes, suggests potential changes in lineups. Ayo Dosunmu's availability for Game 1 against the Spurs is a key factor. If he is active, Conley's playing time is likely to be even smaller, as Dosunmu averaged 32.4 minutes in the first-round series. Anthony Edwards' offensive output is also under scrutiny, particularly if he plays after a foot injury. While he has struggled to hit 4 or more made three-pointers in 4 games against Denver, his recent performance against the Spurs shows a strong tendency for three-point shooting, having made 9 in his latest outing against them. On the defensive end, Julian Champagny is poised for continued success. In 5 games against the Portland Trail Blazers, he recorded 2 or more made three-pointers in every contest and is expected to maintain this trend against Minnesota, even against a strong perimeter defense. Jaden McDaniels is also highlighted for his rebounding potential. A standout performer in the first round against Minnesota, he secured 5 or more rebounds in 4 of 6 games, often exceeding 8 rebounds when he covered the prop. Analysts suggest he should be able to grab at least 5 rebounds in Game 1, maintaining his consistent rebounding presence against the Spurs. The NBA postseason is heating up as the second round intensifies. The Minnesota Timberwolves are set to face the San Antonio Spurs in Game 1, a critical matchup in the second round of the playoffs. The tip-off is scheduled for 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday, May 4, 2026. Fans looking to watch the action will need to check local listings for specific TV channels and streaming options. The second-round bracket features intense battles across both conferences, including the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Los Angeles Lakers in the West, and matchups involving the Pistons, Cavaliers, Knicks, and 76ers in the East. This game between the Timberwolves and the Spurs will determine who advances to face either the San Antonio Spurs or the Minnesota Timberwolves in the conference semifinals. For comprehensive schedules and viewing information for all NBA games on May 4th, viewers are advised to consult the official NBA schedule resources. The NBA playoffs are heating up as the San Antonio Spurs face the Minnesota Timberwolves in Game 1 of the second round. Fans looking to catch the action need to know where to tune in for this matchup. The New York Times has published a guide detailing the TV channel and streaming options available for the games scheduled for May 4th. Team health is a significant factor in this contest. Injury reports indicate several key players are dealing with setbacks. David Jones is listed as out for season due to an ankle injury. Carter Bryant is questionable with a foot issue, while Dante DiVincenzo is also out for season with a leg injury. On the Timberwolves side, Anthony Edwards is questionable with a knee concern, and Ayo Dosunmu is questionable with a calf issue. This information is crucial for any viewer planning to watch the intense playoff action. Betting odds are also available, with information provided by BetMGM. For those seeking live coverage, the guide directs viewers to various streaming platforms and television channels. Note that betting, ticketing, and streaming links are provided by partners of Channel YouTube, and restrictions may apply. Channel YouTube maintains full editorial independence, and partners have no control over the reporting or editing process. This pivotal Game 1 sets the tone for the second round of the NBA playoffs.